All right, so it's always said by Apus when he's not busy sucking David Wood's dick that, Yahweh is the name of God and Allah is not the name of God and Yahweh is the name of God and the Bible says Yahweh is the name of God. Therefore, the Quran gets the name of God wrong, of course, or at least biblically gets the name of God wrong. I mean, this is false. I've proven this false many times over that Yahweh is the name of a false pagan god stolen from Canaanite paganism. I've said this many times, I've proven this many times, and I've also proven that Yahweh is not the only name of God. If you read Genesis chapter 1, verse 1, God's name is Elohim. In other places, in the book of Job, etc., God's name is Eloha, etc. So Yahweh is not the only name of God. But again, I hear this argument over and over and over from atheist and Christian critics of Islam. So I put together this short clip that shows that Yahweh was the name of a pagan god from Canaanite paganism, that the Israelites or the Jews stole from ancient paganism. So Yahweh definitely is not the name
As
of God.
such, the Israelites were originally Canaanite polytheists who worshipped a pantheon of gods, including Baal, Asherah, Yahweh, and quite notably El, the chief god of Canaan, sort of like the Greek Zeus. Baal and Yahweh were among the 70 sons of El, and many Israelites continued to worship Baal for centuries, despite the condemnation of such practices in 1 Kings and Hosea. The parallels between Baal and Yahweh are numerous. Psalm 104 describes Yahweh as riding on the wings of the wind, just as Baal was the cloud rider, and depicts Yahweh's power over the sea using the imagery of Baal's conquest over the sea god Yam. Yahweh's conquest over Leviathan in Job 41 and Psalm 74 is prefigured by Baal's battle with the serpent Lotan. Like Baal, Yahweh commands lightning and rain, clouds and wind. Hosea 2 even indicates that many identified Baal and Yahweh as one and the same, much to the chagrin of Yahweh. "No longer will you call me Baal," he says in verse 16. That Yahweh, like Baal, was originally among the sons of the high god El is implied in Deuteronomy 32, which retains this paternal relationship between El and Yahweh, father and son. When Elyon gave the nations their inheritance, when he divided all mankind, he set up boundaries for the peoples according to the number of his sons. For Yahweh's portion is his people, Jacob his allotted inheritance. In other words, El divided up the nations and allotted each one a patron god among his mighty sons. To Israel he gave his son Yahweh.